And what we need the most is right here with us today. That is the presence of God. The presence of God in your life is the greatest thing that you could ever have. The greatest thing you could ever have is the presence of God. And if you're saved, you have the presence of God. But you know as well as I do, sometimes you're not as filled. Right? Sometimes you've leaked out. And we need to be filled. Ephesians 5 says, be not drunk with wine, whereas in excess, but be filled with the Spirit of God. When Jesus walked to the first miracle there in John chapter 2, there was stone pots that were supposed to be filled with water because it was the time of the Jewish feast, the Jewish wedding, and it was a process of a Jewish wedding. But that day there was no water in the water pots until Jesus showed up. And in the time of famine, in the time where desperation, in the time of discouraging, in the time of doubt, Jesus told his people, said, fill them water pots with water. And so they filled them, and my Bible says, the King James, says to the brim. I'm glad to know that my God doesn't do things halfway or quarter way or just part of the way, but he knows how much we need when we need it. Somebody help me. I believe we got a big God, amen. I believe he made a big universe and he saved me in a big way, amen. I believe heaven's big enough too, amen. And so he filled the water pots to the brim. And then he said, go dip a little cup and bring it to the governor. The governor. And when the governor tasted the water, it wasn't water. Because Jesus got a hold of the water. Man brought the water and Jesus made it wine. Somebody help me. What we need tonight is a little new wine in your belly. And I can't bring it. And Brother Jerry can't preach it down. But I'm telling you, the old-time Holy Ghost of God is present before you. And all we need to do is empty ourselves and ask Jesus to fill us. And we need to experience the new wine. If you're young here tonight, under the age of 20, what you need is a new wine in your new bottles. Amen. Think of yourself as a new bottle that is God has created and God has made. And my Bible says in Luke chapter 5 and verse 37 and 38 and 39 that you don't put new wine into old bottles. I love the new wine. Hey, but I'm getting older. But thank God there's some new bottles coming on underneath me. Thank God there's some new generation, amen. And what they need is some new wine in their new bottles, amen. So that there will be hope in the world today. Praise his holy name.